Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm Heidi Smith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today I'm taking part in another Inspireink Blog Hop. And this time, this is a monthly blog hop that we do where we get challenges, and they can be anything from sketches to colours. And here's my offering today, and this is based on colours, just in case you weren't sure. This is about all the purples. So literally I've got all the purple shades from our current catalogue, and I've just used our lovely bow punch here, this lovely one, which you can see reflecting with my light there, and it cuts out these two super sprigs. So you get this large leaf here, and you get this small little sprig, she says, there as well. So literally all I did was just sat one evening and just took out my scraps, and I punched two in each colour of our purples. So what have we got in the way of purples? So we've got our Blackberry Bliss and Rich Raspberry from our Regals. We've got our Gorgeous Grape from Brights. We've got our Highland Heather from our Subtles range. We've got Fresh Freesia from the In Colours, and yeah, I think that's it. So I mean, looking at it now, what I might do is I've kind of done it in a kind of a rainbow, but it makes it look a little bit gappy here, but there is something there. I've paired it with a couple of other things though. What I've paired it with is the dies from the Colour and Contour set, which I've used here. So within these dies you have got fabulous scalloped rectangles, and they're kind of they're different as well. So on this one you cut like an aperture, this one's just scalloped and dotted, scalloped and stitched. This one is scalloped and it cuts a line, which I'll show you in a moment, and then you've got this final one which is just scallops and dots as well. So really useful set, as well as the dies that cut out the floral images as well. And I've used the leaf that comes in here, this looks like stylised leaf, to create a bit of background. And the other background sort of texture stamp that's in here is, which I might use actually in this one, is this one here, which is a lovely sort of splatter effect. There you go. So I might well use that one. So yeah, so what I do is with these I actually put in what the layers are as well, just sort of an easy reference, so I don't have to keep measuring every time. So this is the one we're going to use, and you can see here it has these like slots in the end, so you could in fact sort of tuck that behind ribbon or another layer as well if you want. Lots of ways you can use those. So let's get started. So I'm just going to start first of all by die cutting this shape. And it's nice, very quick and easy to do, but all I'm going to do is actually leave it in the die initially. So it's going to come out, take out the outer edge, and I'm going to leave that within the die, because I'm just going to use my blending brushes a little. So you might want to grab yourself sort of something that it will sort of slip on. So I've just used a piece of baking sheet here, and I'm going to use my Fresh Freesia, one of our lovely In Colours, around for another 12 months, if you please know. Just dab your blending brush into there, and then I'm just coming in and just adding a little bit of colour from the edges. Just gives a bit of sort of subtle colour, and I don't want anything too dark on this, just a hint of colour. And by keeping it in there, when you come out you then get this little frame as well. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, this photopolymer stamp, so we want to make sure that we're supporting it fully. And I've taken the birthday, and I'm stamping the birthday large word from the Biggest Wish stamp sets. That's this one here, which is great because you can put happy birthday, and you can do all sorts of combinations of these. I'm just going to do the exact same one just because it was already mounted up and it saves me having to clean things. And then I'm going to try and get that more central than I did in the first one, and using those lines. Nice subtle birthday there in my Fresh Freesia. Pop that away. Then I'm going sort of a tone darker with my Happy by using Rich Raspberry. And I'm just going to pop that again, just using the fact that it's photopolymer to line it up. There we go, so it's a happy birthday. So that's my stamping done. As I said, with the punch, it's a really easy one to do. With all of our punches, you've got plenty of sort of nice robust ones to choose from. This one is staying around. Things that I found, so obviously you can punch it in this way, so you get both at one time, as you can see here, but obviously that you get quite a bit of wastage then, so you might want to angle it. But often with these I'll put a strip through, so that's something else that's worth thinking about if you didn't want both. Just measure the width, and if you've got dexterity issues you can do it as I've just done, putting it face down on the desk and punching upwards, and then whoop, you end up with your lovely little sprigs, as easy as that. Now that I've done that, what I'm going to do is, I've already punched these. I figured you wouldn't want to see me sit and punch lots of those. So I've done again, one in each, two in each of the colours. I'm taking some fresh freesia to create my layer as well. Before I put everything away, I want to get some stamping done. So I'm cutting this layer to 14 by 10 because my card base is 14.5 by 21, scored at 10.5. So it's a standard half A4 card base that I'm using. And I'm going to do a layer for the inside as well, which is again 14 by 10 in our basic white. Obviously, being a darker coloured cardstock, you need to be able to have something to write on. So what I'm going to do now is just grab my little leaf that I've got here and some fresh freesia, and I'm just going to use that in the corners just to add a little interest to the inside of our card. And then on the front there, I just came all the way around with my leaves. What I'm going to do is actually not do quite as many leaves on this one, but I'm going to sort of intersperse it with my splatter. And what I might do is actually stamp that splatter off a little bit as well. So let's have a look. Okay. Rich raspberry, a bit of splatter, a scrap bit of paper, because what you don't want to do is get a load of ink onto your Stampin' Pierce mat. Ask me how I know. So let's just try stamping off first, and I'm going to just try it on the reverse. And that's nice, because I think if I did it straight on it would be a bit overbearing. So by stamping that off, we can then come in just filling in some of those gaps around the edge, so I've kind of got a bit of splatter everywhere, and that way you say it just adds a bit of texture kind of effect to our card. So stamps away. Now the next bit in terms of the creation, what I actually did was I kind of went around in my sort of colours, just that I've got a rough idea of the spacing. What I didn't want to do was actually have sort of mix them up sort of too much, but I think actually I might, let's try mix them and see which one we prefer. Okay. So we've got 5 different colours that you can see here, and just play around with those till you're happy with the sort of tones. And then come around again with those. So you kind of want 5 on the top half, and you want 5 obviously on the bottom half as well. And I just found that by laying it out this way, it just helped me get it right in my own mind, what it was that I wanted to create. So here we go, almost there. And then I just put my, just put these, I sort of alternated my little sprigs as well, because I didn't want those to go on top of each other. So I kind of put the gorgeous grape on top of my Highland heather, my blackberry bliss with my rich raspberry. Just make sure you're sort of getting those kind of tones on tones. So it's it's a case of sorting it all out before I got myself all sticky and gluey. So the last little bit, there we go. There we go, Highland heather in there, and a gorgeous grape. Okay, there's obviously a spare one. So once I've kind of got it laid out, then what I did was I went around with some Seal Plus on the back of this die. So I've just gone in all the way around, and then quite simply I've just I went with all of these. Probably can't see that. Okay, let's just move myself up. God, I'm wittering a lot today. Okay, so then what I did was I went round and put my my foliage in place, and what I did was just went round with things like this. So I kind of went 1, 2, so middle 2. So I've got my sort of 5 coming out here. And just making sure that I've kind of got those flowers just peeking out. Okay, messed up on that one. Missed one out. Okay. Best laid plans and all that. Oh well, here we go. It's now going to be completely different to how I planned. See how we go now then. Right, so then you go in with your large leaves. The only thing I would say here when you're doing your large leaves is just keep your piece of your layer of card to one side, because you don't want this to, just keep an eye on the grid lines. What you want to do is just make sure that isn't going to protrude too much. So I'm making a real hash of this. All I'm doing is just layering those on as we go around. Obviously the ones on the side can hang out slightly more, and just pressing them onto that glue just holds them in place. Again, just doing a quick sort of check on my sizing. And once that's done, if you just take that, flip it over and make sure. So a few little bits hanging over, we find there's plenty of space in an envelope. And once you've done that, I then just use my dimensionals to kind of help secure that in place. So I'm putting sort of one in each of the corners here. Just make sure it's coming in inside the outer perimeter, and the end of my sheet. And you know me, those of you, make sure you get full use out of these pieces. Just add these into the corners as well. One more there. And another piece on the opposite side. So these, just press it down well. These dimensionals obviously help glue that back in place as well. And then all we do is remove our backs on these. And then position that fairly straight in the middle there. And then all remains is just for us to add these to it. Now, if you'd like to purchase any of the items you've seen today, pop along to my blog at Flutter by Heidi and you'll see links. If you're on YouTube, obviously use the description box below. Press that little down sort of arrow at the side and you'll find that you'll get a description box open up with the links in to all of these products as well. And I'd really appreciate it if you place an order with me. And obviously, if you allow contact, that means I can send you my thank you card and gift as well, ready for you to use. Now, that is about as straight as the proverbial dog's hind leg, so I will have to have a little bit of an adjust with that. But there we go. So we've got them mixed and tone on tone. Which do you prefer? I think I probably prefer this one, but hey, you know, a bit of fun. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon, and bye for now.